Hi and welcome back. Today I'm gonna actually start prepping lunch for my kiddos. I'm gonna make them an alphabet soup with mini meatballs, but since I'm gonna make the mini meatballs for them, I decided to go ahead and just make regular sized meatballs so that I can kind of meal prep a few lunches for my husband and I at the same time. This way I can kind of meal prep and create lunch, kind of doing double duty, and this is one of my favorite ways to meal prep for us. So I'll show you how I make the meatballs and then what steps I'm gonna take from there to create the two different meals at the same time. Materials I'm using are my scale, my bowl, a dry erase board and pen, garlic, egg whites, seasoning, some oats, and just some ground turkey. I'm using about 2 pounds of ground turkey, and I'm just gonna empty it all into the bowl and then mix it all up together. I'm counting my macros, so I have this on my food scale. And as I'm adding ingredients, I'm just jotting down on the whiteboard next to me the weight of each ingredient. So then later I can go in and add it in to MyFitnessPal and kind of track my macros that way. If you're not counting macros or if you're not tracking as closely, you can, of course, skip this step and it'll go even quicker. To make sure the meatballs are all about the same size, I first zeroed out the scale and then used the negative amount shown on the scale to make sure they all weighed about the same. If you're not counting macros again, you don't have to do this step, or you can just use a measuring cup or eyeball it to just make sure they're all around the same size. So it ended up making 50 meatballs. So I'm gonna put 40 of them in the oven, and then 10 of them I'm going to just kind of fry up in this soup pan. I'm probably gonna cut them down just a little bit smaller for the kiddos because this will be for their soup and that will be for my meal prep. And then my daughter is actually with me in the kitchen. She's working on her math while I'm doing this. I was standing here letting the meatballs cool in the oven and watching YouTube. And I was like, oh yeah, weren't you making a video? Should probably get back to that and finish it. So, also, don't mind my holy sweater. Husband's probably gonna kill me because I wore it on camera, but I'm keeping it real. This is what I wear when I'm at home. It's comfortable, I like it. I'm not wearing it out in public, except now maybe the public has seen it. All 3 of you that watch my videos. Anyways, the soup is almost done for the kiddos. It's just kind of boiling away. I ended up adding meatballs, garlic, some better than bouillon because I am out of broth, and then water. Did I say tomato sauce? Tomato sauce and seasoning, and a little bit of alphabet noodles I had, and then that didn't seem like enough, so I went ahead and I broke up some spaghetti noodles and added that too. So they're just gonna have some kind of noodle meatball soup for lunch, and then I am going to put together, I think what I'll do for my meal prep is not add the pasta to my lunch, but I'm gonna make the sauce and put it with the meatballs and freeze that into individual containers or baggies. And then when I want to have a Swiss meatball over noodles lunch prep mabobber, clearly it's time for more coffee. I can pull out from the freezer the meatballs and sauce and then just cook up a small portion of pasta. So let's do that. By the way, where are my kids, you're asking? They're getting screen time. They're all playing PBS Kids very nicely together, so I better hurry and take advantage of this before they hear me talking to myself and come downstairs to see what's going on. I should also mention that dinner's in the slow cooker tonight, so that's not going to take very much prep from me when it's actually time to serve it. So that's why lunch can be a little bit more creative or a little bit more labor intensive time because I've already got that taken care of. School was done this morning. I was just finishing up the last of it with my daughter, like I said at the beginning of this. So that's it. After that, we can just kind of relax for the afternoon. Moving on, I'm making the sauce by adding some cream of mushroom soup that I made that morning. If you have pre-made, you can use that also. The original recipe calls for broth, but here I'm using better than bouillon, and I'm measuring it out again and marking it on my whiteboard. But again, if you're not counting macros, go ahead and skip that step. I'm adding in a can of mushrooms and about half a diced onion. Next step is some granulated garlic, A1 sauce, salt, pepper, Greek yogurt, water to go with that better than bouillon, paprika, and then I'm going to just stir it on up. I just plated up the kids. This is what it came out like. Yes, I know technically these are cereal bowls, but it's cooled enough and my kids like to slurp up the broth. So I went ahead and served it in there for them. I use the MyFitnessPal app to help track my macros. So from this screen, I press my meals, recipes, and foods, and then create a recipe and enter ingredients manually so we can input everything. I'm going to name this turkey meatballs for lunch prep because I'm pretty sure I have another turkey meatball recipe in there and I want to try to keep it organized. And then you just start adding in your ingredients. So you can search for them by name or you can scan the barcode of the actual item. And then after we've added in all the ingredients, there's an arrow that'll show on the top upper right corner. Press that and it'll show us the total macros for each serving. And then you can either add it to your food log for that day or just press save and use it another day. I just measured out the serving size that they have on the side of the box for, we're going to try this Thrive chickpea pasta. So I put in 56 grams of pasta on the bottom here, just dry. And then I went ahead and put the sauce on top so it'll melt. This is the frozen Swedish meatballs. And I'm going to see if maybe I need to add a little bit of water to it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add just a smidge of water right now. Okay, it's been like an hour and a half, so I just want to check the pasta. I actually just remembered. It looks like it's doing okay. And I think the sauce will melt over it and cook it. So I'm not going to add any more water to it. Maybe when I go to eat it, I will. But I'm going to keep letting it warm up. And then I'll let you know how it tastes. I went ahead and added more water to it just because it was super thick, but the pasta cooked all the way through, and it is chickpea pasta, so it actually started like kind of falling apart, but I tasted it and it tastes delicious, so I'm gonna say it's a keeper. It doesn't look all that appetizing, but it tastes great. Probably gonna sprinkle some red pepper flakes on it just for a little heat, but all in all, I think this is gonna be a keeper for me and my husband.